I'm Maria Ingold. I'm a CTO in video technology, and I'm at Connected Media IP at the NAB Show 2019. I am joined by Malik, who is the co-founder and executive chairman of LTN. Welcome.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. So what are you looking forward to most at the NAB Show?
Well, it's a great show to meet a large number of our customers. Frankly, we love going around and seeing what others are up to.
Yeah.
It's a meeting place for ideas, creativity, anything to do with technology in the media industry, so it's a fun place to be. It's a little exhausting, but it looks like a good show this year.
That's fantastic. So, LTN deliver live video with 99.999% reliability. Can you tell me more?
Sure. LTN is a managed IP network.
Yes.
And we primarily deal with media companies, distributing their full-time channels or events to customers all over the world. And what makes us unique, I suppose, is that we are a fully managed network, which means we have a 24/7 NOC that manages every feed and answers phone calls from customers. And it's a very, very fast and very reliable network. It's under 200 milliseconds to get your video to Timbuktu, if you'd like. And it's also 5 to 6 nines reliability and availability.
That's great.
We've established a nice reputation at the top end with a lot of the largest media companies in the world.
So one of the issues that everyone's been talking about is that OTT delivery versus broadcast.
Yep.
The quality issues, the reliability, the latency. Can you explain to our viewers what the issues are?
I'd be happy to, sort of summarize some of them for your viewers who may not be as well versed in internet speak as maybe
absolutely.
You are or I am. But so the internet is really a loose conglomeration of 60,000 independent IP networks, which is shocking to people. These are all run separately. They have separate P&Ls. They're all over the world. What makes them all work together is that they all use the same architecture and protocols within their network called OSPF, which is Open Shortest Path First. And then they connect to each other via a standard protocol called Border Gateway Protocol. That's what makes this seamless to the user, whether you're watching a Netflix movie or you're accessing a website. You can do so regardless of which of those 60,000 networks the source and the destinations are connected to. So this is a wonderful thing. It's really led to everything that we see today, and the predecessors of ours, the technology guys, created this unbelievable resource, which scales beautifully, is ubiquitous, and has really stood up the test of time. But there are some things that it does not do very well. Neither OSPF nor BGP were built to deal with certain latency. They're built to deal with reliable connections. They will get your feed to the other side, but there's no intelligence inside those protocols to route around congestion. So if there's a congested link, it'll keep trying until it finds a path, or the client times out or the server times out. So when you talk about, OTT delivery has lower quality, has higher delay, which is all true, compared to broadcast television and linear TV, it's because we as an industry have compensated for that lack of architectural certainty and latency by reducing the quality,
Yeah.
and also by increasing the delay so that we have a high probability of recovering packets without interrupting the flow. And so those are fundamental issues about the internet that aren't going to get changed, because any change requires 60,000 networks
Yeah,
to change
yes.
their infrastructure.
So now that we understand what the problem is, what are you doing to resolve that?
Well, there's only so much you can do from outside the internet.
Yes.
So you can build very smart boxes, and people have, and these boxes deal with this fundamental issue inside the infrastructure of the internet by doing some interesting things. They, for example, introduce something called adaptive bitrate, which means they lower the quality of the feed as the internet gets more congested. Okay. Or they have something called forward error correction, where
Yes.
you're sending more packets than you need to send in the hope that one gets through.
Of course, yes.
But these are really, I would say, not architectural changes. They are just trying to deal with an architecture that wasn't built for timely delivery. So what we have done is we've built intelligence in the middle of the internet. We sit in data centers all around the world in 12 different locations. At each location we have racks and racks of servers that do some smart things inside the network. One very smart thing they do is, because we're connected to multiple carriers at each data center, we're monitoring every possible permuted path between a source and all its destinations every 75 milliseconds, and we're monitoring every link in that chain. And when we see a peering point get congested, or a transit point get congested, or an aggregation point get congested, we simply route around it. We route the traffic onto a different carrier plane, we route the traffic onto a different link, and by doing that routing that internet itself is not capable of, we manage to live within a very tight delay budget end to end. And you cannot do this unless you have the ability to do that level of monitoring, which takes enormous amount of processing power, that kind of routing which requires multiple carrier planes, and be able to do it without loss, without a customer actually noticing that you've rerouted. So that's one example. We have other examples of things that we do. For example, we recover packets in 10 to 15 millisecond hops rather than end to end. As you know, TCP requires the source and the destination to negotiate recovery of a packet. We don't do it that way. We do it between data centers, which are only 10 or 15 milliseconds apart.
Okay.
So when we do that, our recovery is so fast that an overall 200 millisecond budget is more than sufficient to recover all packets. So these are things you cannot do without building infrastructure. We have to buy hundreds of gigabits per second of capacity from carriers. We don't just throw stuff into the internet. We pay ISPs, tier 1 ISPs. Half the tier 1 ISPs in this world are, we're customers of. You have to build this data center infrastructure. You have to build the algorithms. You have to build the protocols. You have to build a management system. It's a big investment. And
Absolutely.
then when you do all of that, you're able to say to a customer like Disney or Turner or Fox or whoever, hey, we guarantee that your traffic will get to the other end, to the customer, in high quality, with high reliability and very low delay.
So, timely, reliable, and secure.
Yes.
Those are the three key things that everyone needs to look out for. What are your tips for how to ensure that you're getting that?
Well, so the things that I would look for, number one is this a managed service that you're procuring with somebody who is taking responsibility to deliver you a service level that your business can run on? Or are they saying to you, look, buy my box, buy my service, but once you buy it, you're kind of on your own? So that's the very first thing. If you have truly valuable content, you need reliability, you need that kind of latency, and you need a company to be behind you, okay, so that you're not alone trying to throw
You're
stuff
with
into the
them on
ether.
their journey.
You have
every
to.
step of the way.
You have to have a companion. You have to have this person or company partner with you. Number one. Number two, I would look for, are they making that investment in the infrastructure of the network, or are they just delivering a box that you then just connect to the internet, and they're not paying the internet service providers? They're just giving you, they're all they're interested in is selling you a box. And if that's what the vendor is trying to do, then you have to be a little careful. You have to make sure that that it really does work under extreme circumstances. Anybody's product will work when there is no congestion. It's the times that you are having issues with the internet or a particular carrier, you really need that kind of infrastructure and architecture to avoid that. And then the third thing I would look for is are you dependent on a single carrier infrastructure? Because I don't care who you are, whether you're Verizon or Level 3 or AT&T, you are one small part of the internet. And if there is an issue with you, are you going to leave the customer high and dry? So we have a multi-carrier platform, so we don't rely on any one carrier. So those are three things that I would be careful of and I'd watch out for.
That's great. So join them on the journey.
Yes.
Investment and multi-carrier.
Exactly.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, no, it works. If you do the right things, you can deliver the right service.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you, Maria.
At Connected Media IP, and I hope that you come back next year and we can find out more about what you're doing.
We will be back next year, I think, with a bigger booth. We really like this.
Excellent.
We like the service we've gotten, so thank you very much.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay.